What's up, guys? Welcome back to News Dump.
Squirt.
Yeah. What? This is a dump, not a squirt, Elliot.
Well,
You're getting confused.
Didn't get enough fiber this week.
Okay.
So we were gonna wait till Tech Tuesday to talk about this new YouTube Red thing.
RedTube.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
This is some hot, fresh news, and it's just not gonna taste as good if we put it in the microwave on Tuesday.
Yeah, these leftovers. Garbage. Also, it's not just a tech story, it's about an entertainment platform that many people are increasingly turning to as their primary media source. Thanks. And it's also the platform that you're probably watching us on right now. I could not imagine you watching this anywhere else.
They BitTorrent our show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Taking food out of my baby's mouth.
We actually talked about them doing that. I wonder if anyone ever put it up on BitTorrent.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Whatever.
Anyway,
let's get into it. YouTube's long-rumored premium paid service has finally been formally announced, and it's called YouTube Red, not to be confused with RedTube. And for $9.99 a month, YouTube is taking a pretty big gamble that they can compete with Netflix for the exact same price.
So what does $9.99 get you? Well, for starters, no more ads. For many people, no more need for an ad blocker. You also get the ability to download videos to your device's storage for offline viewing. That's my favorite thing right there.
Yeah.
That's great. For all you bridge and tunnel people.
Yeah, you're on a plane or anywhere the data sucks, maybe you're on a road trip. It's great. And then there's a feature many people have been asking for years, which is the ability to keep a YouTube clip playing in the background while you switch apps. It's especially good for music if you're doing music on YouTube.
Exactly, and leading into this, it also comes with YouTube Music, which is basically Google Play Music, but in a different app. In fact, subscribing to one automatically gets you access to the other for free, so in addition to the YouTube features, you get what's essentially Google's answer to Spotify as well, so you can cut that off of your...
Yeah, that in itself makes this a pretty decent deal.
Yeah.
But additionally, starting in early 2016, YouTube will be rolling out 10 new shows that will be exclusive to YouTube Red subscribers. The biggest one being Scare PewDiePie.
Oh no!
Where the producers of The Walking Dead create scenarios based on video games to scare PewDiePie in real life, not just in his chair.
Ooh.
Ah!
There's also Sing It from the Fine Brothers, a scripted series that satirizes singing competitions. There has to be some kind of reaction thing in there, right?
Everyone reacts.
Yeah, the world reacts to our new show. There's also Laser Team, which is that feature film Rooster Teeth's been working on for a while.
Yeah, there's I Am Tobuscus, a scripted reality satire of Toby Turner's real life as a YouTuber. There's an untitled college humor show, and there's several other series featuring top YouTubers.
We don't have one yet, but I'm sure the offer is
They've been just knocking on the door.
Right around the corner, the phone's ringing off the hook, we
Yeah.
just won't answer it. Get out of here. Now we're gonna be honest, none of this stuff really appeals to either of us, but then again, we're two dudes in our 30s who spent the first 20 or so years of our life living in a YouTube-free world. We are not the target audience here, but for people who have grown up with YouTube as a major part of their lives and who follow these specific YouTubers, this service should be pretty appealing.
So, will it be able to take on Netflix? That's probably not even the right way to look at it, since you're talking about two very distinct audiences that, I mean, cross over a little bit, but are still... older people will have Netflix, younger people will have YouTube, RedTube, or whatever.
We've seen the stats, we know it's true.
Yeah, but compared to YouTube's previous failed attempts at curating premium content in a bid to be taken more seriously, this seems like it might actually work. So if you live in the US, you can see for yourself on October 28th.
But again, the premium content won't be airing until 2016.
Yeah, I mean,
but
still, the Google Play Music side of it, like, that's a pretty good deal.
I have to see where the money's going first, because I'm willing to pay the $10 a month if the creators that I watch specifically, if there's some kind of data that goes into that kind of like drip feeds those things with parts of the money.
Yeah,
like
I'd
how
to see
Spotify works.
How the pay system.
Like if Spotify, you listen to the new Adele song 5,000 times, that gives her like a nickel or something.
Yeah. So sign up for this and watch all of our videos
and just leave it on. Yeah, and download them all. But in other online video news, Yahoo Screen venture into original programming with Community, Sin City Saints, and Other Space has apparently not been profitable for them at all. In fact, Yahoo took a $42 million loss on their original programming push, and its future as a platform now seems questionable.
Especially since, according to Joel McHale, all of the actors still involved in Community have become too successful for a sitcom budget to afford all of them. Quote, all the actors on the show, almost without exception, their stock has risen significantly, and it's out of the pay rate that is affordable to make the show. So you're not going to be able to get Alison Brie or Gillian Jacobs at a normal television salary anymore. There's just not enough money to be able to pay for the show. So,
Yeah, there you go. Now, while every tech company around is trying to take on Netflix, many of them are finding out the hard way that doing so isn't going to be easy, and it's definitely not going to be cheap. So unless you can build a time machine and go back 6 years to launch your platform, it's going to be an uphill battle, and ironically enough, building a time machine would probably be cheaper than actually launching Yahoo Screen at this point.
Speaking of time travel,
Whoa!
segue, this week was Back to the Future week or whatever, and we've already talked about it so much and are glad it's finally over, but there's a few more little news breadcrumbs left over that we should mention. Starting with the fact that on Back to the Future Day, Wednesday, October 21st, 2015, the one-day theatrical re-release of the Back to the Future trilogy was actually #1 at the US box office, pulling in $1.65 million, beating out The Martian.
Yeah, so that's crazy. A movie that's 30 years old is now the #1 in the box for one day. It's one
On a Wednesday.
Yeah. In other news, what are those?
Yeah, Nike finally released some fully functional self-lacing shoes just in time for the future that we were all promised. The first and only pair that exists right now was delivered straight to Michael J. Fox, and the rest will be available in extremely limited quantities next spring. You can only buy them via auction, and all of the proceeds will be going to the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research.
Oh, well,
So
that's good.
Cool.
That's nice. But enough about that, let's talk about something new. Netflix just dropped the first trailer for their upcoming comedy series, Master of None, and it looks like it could be one of their most solid original programs yet.
Yeah, the show stars Aziz Ansari, one of the best comedians around, and it looks to be pretty heavily based on his stand-up act, especially his more recent material that focuses on relationships and adulthood and goes kind of a lot deeper than just jokes.
Aziz stars as Dev, a 30-year-old actor in New York who's stuck at a point in his life where he isn't really sure what he wants out of life, and is having trouble obviously adjusting from his 20s into actual responsible adulthood, as we've all faced.
Yeah, it also tackles his experiences as a first-generation Indian American trying to break into show business, but constantly being stuck cast as the Indian guy and like forced to do accents even though he's born and raised in America. The Indian American aspect is extra interesting because Ansari actually chose to cast his real parents in the show as his character's Indian parents.
Yeah, he said on Twitter that his dad was immediately like, yeah, sign me up, and his mom was the one that took a lot of coaxing.
Yeah, his dad looks like hilarious in this though.
So the show also co-stars comedy heroes H. John Benjamin and Eric Wareheim, among others. So it's safe to say we're pretty stoked on this one. So Master of None premieres on Netflix November 6th, and that's just 2 weeks away, so get ready.
Yeah!
There we go.
Moving on, pretty much everyone is well aware of the fact that Paul Walker passed away before the shooting was actually finished on Furious 7, forcing the film's script to change a little bit, and also forcing the FX team to carefully insert Paul into scenes that he wasn't even present for.
The specifics of how this was done and which shots didn't have Paul in them were understandably kept under wraps when the film was released. But now members of the FX team are starting to talk about just how they did it, and which shots that they had to work on.
Yeah, and it turns out they had a lot of work on their hands. It wasn't just sticking Paul's face on a stuntman's body for a few action shots. There are actually a ton of close-up shots of Paul Walker that were painstakingly put together by Peter Jackson's Weta NZ digital effects studio, using a combination of Walker's brothers, previous footage of Paul Walker, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of work.
There were 350 shots in total, and the result is something that's never been done before. And easily the VFX industry's most successful attempt at crossing the uncanny valley that's made stuff like this feel so off every other time something like this has been attempted.
Yeah, they're gonna win an Academy Award. I mean, they pretty much have
looking
to.
at the photos, I was
just like, holy
so many
shit.
scenes that I didn't think that was happening.
Like, there's
and it
scenes
was.
with dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you really like zoom in, you're just like, okay, this looks a little bit off, but,
yeah,
like,
but
watching the movie, I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But speaking of amazing visual effects, one of the videos you absolutely must watch this week is Star Wars The Binks Awakens by YouTube channel Murdoch Motion, which takes the latest Star Wars trailer and inserts everyone's least or greatest favorite Star Wars character ever, Jar Jar Binks, into just about every shot.
Misa! They also added a bunch of other stuff that Star Wars purists hate about Lucas's prequels and special editions, including CGI Yoda, Ghost Hayden Christensen, and little Jake Lloyd Anakin Skywalker flying in an X-Wing.
Yeah. Now, our next video of the week is probably the weirdest Simpsons couch gag ever in the show's very long history, and it's from none other than John Kricfalusi, the absolute lunatic behind Ren and Stimpy.
It's disgusting, grotesque, unnerving, and goddamn do I wish John Kricfalusi was doing more work. Damn it.
He needs to get out of that show, Cans Without Labels, because I funded it on Kickstarter like 4 years ago.
He just needs someone like the people that fund The Simpsons to be like, John,
Here's money, yeah.
Here's $1 million. You better get this done on time. And
I think
it's more money.
I think he underestimated the amount of like time and work and the amount of money that he needed to do this. So I'm in no rush to watch it. It's fine.
Well,
I just wish I wish I could watch it.
He's notoriously bad at sticking to deadlines. He was fired from Ren and Stimpy for that exact
Well,
reason.
and because the show is just disgusting for children. But he is one of the reasons that Nickelodeon actually is hugely profitable and actually was able to go on and make lots of other shows like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
All his fault. Anyways, moving on to our last video. We were on Fandango's movie threesome show starring our friends Christian Harloff and Tiffany Smith this week after obviously feuding with them for several weeks. And it turns out we're the Drake of this situation.
Yeah, they're the Meek Mill.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you why, but take a guess because we went on there to do a trivia showdown. If you know us, you know that we took a dive in the Ultimate Schmodown last week. Very sad.
Yeah.
I think we may have redeemed ourselves on Movie Threesome, but you'll just have to watch and find out.
Yeah, head over to their channel. We'll put a link in the description below and watch that video. Other than that, guys, check out our other content from the week here. We have a brand new episode of Tugs. We also went to Hawaii. I mean, we've told you plenty of times we went to Hawaii for Jurassic World, but we would really appreciate it if you watch that video so we get to do more cool trips like that. And then, what do we put up top?
Podcast. What did we do last? Oh, we argued with Maddie about the future of VR and whether or not it's going to be successful.
And buckle up because you guys were such big fans of us doing the podcast and answering your questions that we decided to do it again this week and tomorrow. We have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, including seeing boobs way too young thanks to our parents who wanted to show us movies.
Yep.
Close your eyes, it's a titty! Rick Sr. Bye, guys.
Bye.